Happy New Year. It's Stuart Strop with the EV practice at JD Power. EVC Monthly Pulse is our upper funnel EV purchase consideration report with feedback from over 2,000 U.S. new vehicle shoppers each month. December Monthly Pulse just hit. Here are the headlines. 24.8% of shoppers are very likely to consider buying an EV within the year. So after increasing for a couple months, that number dropped, and it dropped pretty big. It's down just over 4 percentage points from November. Not good on the face of it, but it's important to point out that the vast majority of that difference, 3.6 of those 4.1 percentage points, actually shifted into somewhat likely versus somewhat unlikely or very unlikely. So it looks like we're seeing more of a kind of a softening in EV purchase consideration versus complete deterioration of it. But what's driving that change? Well, after holding pretty steady for a few months, gas prices really dropped off in December, actually down to the lowest levels that we've seen in nearly a year. So shoppers getting that much relief at the pump does seem to have swayed them. Again, not so much to abandon the idea of buying an EV, but consider it with a bit less urgency. So it's going to be really interesting to track that fuel variable moving forward, especially in light of some of the other potentially huge influences on EV purchase consideration, not the least of which is the federal incentive from the Inflation Reduction Act. Assuming people can figure out how the incentive actually works, it's proven to be quite the moving target so far. Other big takeaways from December, much like its cousin, the Toyota BZ4X on the mass market side, the Lexus RZ actually came in as the most considered model in the premium segment. Pretty amazing stuff there. Tesla has dominated that part of the market all along. They still are in some way 3 out of the top 5 spots, but that number 1 spot is actually taken by the RZ at this point. In terms of regional data, despite the very likely consideration drop that we saw nationally, Midwest, out of the 4 regions, Midwest actually posted a slight increase in that number month over month. So a few more heads may be turning when they see EVs there in the Midwest part of the country. Back to national, but now on the rejector side of the equation, 31% of EV rejectors cited power outage and grid concerns as a key reason why. It's the 6th most cited reason out of a list of 25. Very interesting takeaway there. Maybe highlights the larger opportunity we've been talking about all along in terms of building consumer education and confidence in EVs. Thank you. We'll see you next time with the January results. Obviously, the first report featuring 023 data. Looking forward to talking with you then. In the meantime, again, Happy New Year.